All right, welcome to Farmer and Sons Garage channel. We have got a new daily driver, or I've got a new daily driver that I'm getting ready to tag and put on the road. That'll be a little bit different, but actually a lot quite the same as to one of the vehicles I've already been driving. So my truck is one of the things I normally drive to work and just drive around town. My wife and I hauled some trash off in it and stuff today. So we're not doing the normal intro we do on our commercial, or on our channel, because the car we're going to show you, there are people that are really strong enthusiasts on that kind of car. The Crown Vic P71 is what I have under my truck that I cut the top off of, cut the whole body off of, everything, and just dropped the shell of this truck down on it. Laban's 63 truck, which is the current project on our channel, it is sitting on a 2009 Crown Victoria P71, former police car. Mine was a fire chief car. Laban's was a county deputy's car in Hancock County, Tennessee. And just recently I went to the town of Lebanon, Virginia. They had a surplus auction and we will head this direction. And I have picked up for myself a 2010 Crown Victoria P71, well actually P7B, but it's still the police Interceptor package. They were P71 all the way up to 2010, 2011. And those changed to P7B on the VIN number. So it is a police Interceptor. This car has about 130,000 miles on it, runs really good. It's going to need tires. I'll probably tint the windows. I'll probably end up painting the roof. It's a black and white car, and they've got flat black doors and gloss black trunk and hood and fenders and all that stuff. So why they kind of mixed and matched, I don't know. But anyway, good running car, got it for a good price. I'm not going to tell you the price I paid for it yet, because as we go forward with this, I'm going to kind of do this as a side project. It's not going to be a main project on the channel. It's just kind of something I'm doing on the side while Laban and I are finishing his build. Eventually this car could end up under an F100 if we find one moving forward, but in the meantime I'm going to use this as a daily, you're putting yourself at risk every time you drive an old classic car, if you're having an accident or somebody running into you and trying to, if it gets totaled or whatever. So I'm not really afraid of that. I drive it all the time, but things can happen. So I'm gonna drive this thing. If it gets wrecked, it's nothing to replace it virtually. And that's, these things, there's 5 fantastic reasons why you would want to drive a Crown Vic as your daily driver. Number one, they are very inexpensive to purchase. You can pick these things up on Gov Deals. You can pick them up at local auctions like I did. They're all over Facebook Marketplace. If you go to Facebook Marketplace and type in Crown Vic, there's tons of them out there. And, if you shop around, you can always find one at a fairly decent price. And, based on today's market, which is very hard to buy a used car for a decent value, these things, bang for the buck, are off the charts. Along those same lines, parts availability. These things like this one, anything from a 98 up to a 2011, a lot of that is interchangeable. Now there are a few things that are maybe year or a certain year specific, or a few years specific, but like headlights, taillights, grills, fenders, all that stuff, anything from 1998 to 2011 pretty much is a match. So as far as parts availability, junkyards, Facebook Marketplace, Gov Deals, they occasionally sell different pieces and parts from the cars on there. Parts availability is off the charts, online and whatever. Aftermarket support, that would be reason number 3. You've got great performance mods. You can get a lot of different Mustang. This is 4.6 engines, the same thing that was in the Mustang GTs throughout those years. So you've got all the support from the Mustang performance companies that you can use on the Crown Vics to help kind of soup up or hop up your Crown Vic. Reason number 4, you don't have to worry about road rage. Man, you're driving a cop car. People think you are a cop when you're driving one of these. I've driven one before. Before I did the truck on my white 2001 model Crown Vic, I drove it for a few months. And people think you're a police officer when they see you. You can see their car dive forward, when they tap the brakes coming in the opposite direction. If you pull up behind them, they do slow down. They will get over if you're on the 4 lane. So you're like the pace car on the interstate. People will not pass you and they will get out of your way. Now eventually, once they figure out, hey, that's just some random dude, they will pick their pace back up and leave you. I've never been flipped off or anything like that yet when I've been driving one of these, but people do believe you're the police when they first see you, and you get a lot of respect as far as the other people's driving habits around you. Then I guess the last thing is they're big, they're roomy, and man, they've got some spunk and performance. I mean, it's just a great car. Ford's been building these for years, and of course they keep making improvements on them as they went through the years. You know, the Crown Vic platform, this Panther platform in particular, is the Mercury Grand Marquis, the Lincoln Town Car, the Ford Crown Vic, of course, and the Police Interceptor, which is pretty much the same car, just a few minor things changed, and the Mercury Marauder, which was a special edition Mercury, which had the fantastic 32 valve double overhead cam engine in it. So those are off the charts expensive. So those are not an economical car to buy, because those things bring a premium no matter where you find those at. They're off the charts expensive. But these cars also, you know, another perk, I guess I can throw a sixth thing in here. When they ran the wiring on these cars, they pretty much just put one wiring cluster through this. So your Crown Vic, which, you know, the cop car may have very few items on it as far as options, you can upgrade by buying stuff from a Mercury Grand Marquis or possibly a Lincoln Town Car, and usually the clips are in there, or the wiring's in there to hook the more advanced options up if you choose to do that, because the stuff's in there if you want to add power seats, or, you know, a better radio, or the cruise control buttons on the steering wheel. Now if you do add the cruise control on the steering wheel, you would have to take that to like a Ford Garage or a mechanic that has the computer that can activate that. That's not just a plug and play. You do have to have a computer activation on that. Now there's also a few cons on the Crown Vic. In my opinion, very few compared to the pros. The con of people think you're a cop. If you're in a hurry and you're on a 2-lane back road, the guy in front of you is going to hold you back because he thinks you're a cop. So that may be a con on the people thinking you're a police officer when you drive this car. But still, I think that's kind of cool. And I'm not going to try to impersonate a cop at all. I'm going to either completely black this car out, or I've even thought about doing maybe a spray can, Rust-Oleum smoke gray. I've watched a couple of videos on YouTube where people have really done a good job prepping their car and done the Rust-Oleum smoke gray, and that turned out really good. It kind of looks like the Ford Abyss gray. So I may do that as we go forward. We'll see. As far as other cons, you don't have a manual transmission option. So the Ford never made one of these late model Panther platform cars with a stick shift. You can convert one yourself with like a T5 transmission, or, you know, find a Mustang that had a 5-speed. Of course, you got a lot of wiring, and you got to put the, you know, get the pedal assembly from the Mustang or whatever car you get a donor from, or either fab something up. So there's a lot of work involved in changing this to a stick shift. The transmission itself is one of the kind of, I guess, weak links on this car as far as the reliability and durability. Oh, and I should have said one of the other things, the pros on this car is the incredible durability and dependability of these. People, they use them as police cars for years. Then when they auction them off, taxi cab companies buy them. That's why when you go, not so much maybe anymore, but 10 years ago or so, if you went to New York, Baltimore, any of these major big cities, Chicago, virtually every taxi cab you would see was a Ford Crown Victoria that was probably a police car in its past. And they get them, paint them yellow and sticker them up. I even knew a guy in a local town that did that years ago, that would buy old police cars and turn them into taxis, you know, around here. As far as other cons, they're not so much tech friendly, because the last one of these they made with the last year of these was 2011. So as far as, you know, Bluetooth radio or the Microsoft Sync system and all those kind of gadgety things that a lot of today's cars have, you know, rear backup cameras and DVD or, you know, navigation touchscreen, all that kind of stuff. These cars really don't have that. Of course, you can upgrade and get whatever kind of stereo you want to put in, a touchscreen if you want it, a Bluetooth, you know, hands-free. You can upgrade yourself, but these cars didn't come with that. So as far as technologically advanced, these cars are not on the computer technical side. Other cons, man, I really don't have hardly anything else. I mean, these cars are tanks, they're cheap, they're durable. I mean, you can't kill them other than the intake. The plastic intake was a weak point in the transmission. Other than that, these cars are rock solid, will last you forever if you take care of them. I'm hoping this one will last me however long I want to drive it, or like I said, and, you know, hold your ears, Crown Vic lovers, until I find a another truck that I deem as a worthy candidate to drop down on this one. We'll see how that goes. Any of you that are Crown Vic enthusiasts, I tell you, don't go watch one of my other recent videos, because it will make you cringe when you see me cut the roof off one and cut the rear off one and lift it off and turn it into a Buford T. Justice looking car with everything ripped off of it. But anyway, these cars are fantastic. This one has the brush guard, the Satina bodyguard brush guard, which is a great option. Those things bring pretty good money online. This one also has the spotlight. It's got the black floor mat. It's got the ticket light, which I love, which you can turn on as a red one at night if you don't want much light, or the white. So it's got the little ticket light, which a lot of people love. Other than that, it's just a basic cop car. There is no such thing as the Police Interceptor engine or the Police Interceptor chip. That's all malarkey and just, you know, urban legend, I guess, if you want to call it that, or a car legend. It's the same engine that the normal car has. It has a beefed up alternator, beefed up brakes, beefed up suspension, and there may be a few other little things, you know, as far as suspension and braking and things like that. And these cars, the safety ratings also, that's another plus. Again, if I keep going, I could just keep giving you more pros, more pros, more pros. But drive one of these cars if you never have. Man, they are so comfortable. They're so roomy. You can see, well, if I switch to a bench seat in this from like a Grand Marquis or a Lincoln, which is the same exact bolt pattern, bolts right up to the floor, I can seat 6 people in this car comfortably. 3 in the front seat, 3 in the back. And I'm 6'6" tall. If I scoot the seat all the way back, I can't hardly reach the pedals. Now this one does have adjustable pedals, but I mean, these things were made for police officers with all their equipment on and all that, to get in and out of the car easy with all their gear on, all their equipment. And so these things are super roomy. They're handled like a go-kart. They don't have massive horsepower, but I think this thing's rated like 235, 240. And for the weight of this car, you know, that's all the power I need. It can get me in plenty of trouble, and it's plenty dangerous. These things, a lot of them you can get with limited slip, almost like a positive traction, that, you know, they'll spin both wheels. This one, I was trying to think what other options this one has. This one does have traction control, so you can cut that off if you want to do an awesome burnout. And it does have adjustable pedals, so you know, my wife's 5'3" or 5'4". She always holds a 4 up when I say she's 5'3". She's my cameraman today, or camera woman today. But she's 5'4", so when she gets in this car, she can slide the pedals forward if she wants to. Then I can slide them back if I want to. Now the seats are not power, they're just, you know, the little bar under the seat and all that stuff. Again, this was a cop car, pretty much a base model. It's got an AM FM radio, does not have cruise control, but again, I can add cruise control later, spend a few dollars with one of the technicians at Ford or a local garage that's got the right system to program that cruise control if I choose to do that. I don't know if I'll be driving this car on long trips or not. We've got a couple other vehicles we can do for that when we go on like vacations or anything. We've got a Ford Flex, which is an amazing vehicle, and we love it. But anyway, if you're thinking about buying a Crown Victoria, do it. Man, if you want a great car for your kids in high school, you know, they may be embarrassed at first, but I tell you what, if they drive this thing, they would love the sound of it. You can do all kinds of exhaust upgrades, make them sound as awesome as you want to. They're going to sound just like a Mustang because it's the same engine. So if you do the right exhaust, it's going to sound like you're driving a Mustang GT. It's just got 4 doors. And so anyway, thanks for watching. I'll come back in a minute and finish up like I always do with the Bible verse. But if you want a Crown Vic police car, Mercury Grand Marquis, Lincoln Town Car, go for it. Man, they're amazing vehicles. All right, so we're going to finish up this video like we do at the end of, or try to do at the end of each video, with a Bible verse. And the sound quality is not as great as normal because my son Laban's not here with me filming this one. I just wanted to throw this one together quick just to kind of show this car off and talk about it a little bit. So I apologize for the less than normal sound quality. And also in the background, earlier if you heard some crazy sound in the background, that was a neighbor doing some weed eating against their chain link fence. So that was kind of that buzz in the background earlier. And now I don't know how much you can hear the neighbor mowing on the riding lawnmower. So anyway, I apologize if there's any noise or sound issues or sound quality issues. So, but anyway, we'll get back to sharing the Bible verse, which we try to do at the end of each verse or video. So this one is from Walt Albright, and this is from the one he shared at the end or in the comments of episode 11. And we encourage you all to share your Bible verses on any of these videos, and we'll keep pulling those for you. His is Psalm 51:10, and that is, create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. So that's a great verse, great video. I'm going to try to create a clean car out of this car and renew a better appearance of it, and bring it back to a better life and a better shape. So that's our Bible verse for today. Thanks again for sharing that, Walt. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you commenting. We especially appreciate you sharing your Bible verses. I know some people may not like this, but this is my platform that I have, that I'm doing right now, and I'm going to choose to please God in this. And so Jesus loves you, and I love you, and I appreciate you watching. So until next time, be blessed.